Welcome to our latest Wandering Walks of Wonder Museum tour. Today we're headed to the Joplin History and Mineral Museum in Joplin, Missouri. The Joplin History Museum opened its doors in 1976 with the showcase of treasures from Joplin's history. Today, the museum has expanded to much more with many exhibits on such things as Bonnie and Clyde, minerals, and much more. Our museum tour opens today with a look at one of Joplin's most devastating tornadoes that hit in 2011.
On May 22nd, 2011, an EF5 tornado touched down in Joplin. After 38 minutes, the storm tracked a path of destruction over 22 miles long and a mile wide. The storm destroyed $2.6 million worth of property, left 158 people dead, destroyed 7,000 homes, and left tens of thousands without power or water. This tree, splintered and splayed in all directions, captures a small snapshot of the fury of the tornado. Originally located in a park in the center of Joplin, the shattered plant was brought to the museum to show the devastation of the storm and the resilience of Joplin's residents.
The next part of our tour examines the history of Joplin beginning back to its early days in the mining industry. For over 125 years, this area of Joplin has been home to mining for both lead and zinc, as well as several other minerals, and it has led to the early growth of the town always up through today.
High demands for both new and replacement shovels. Hundreds and thousands of these tools were shipped into the district by the train boxcar full. It is estimated that men using shovels like these moved over 50 billion tons of rock by hand throughout the time the local mining district was in operation.
next part of our tour takes us to the National Cookie Cutter Museum. This museum is the only one of its kind in the entire United States. Here we can check out thousands of cutters, both vintage as well as newer ones, and see some of the advertising and seasonal use of cookie cutters. This huge display of handmade cutters also includes many from other countries. Maybe you might see a cookie cutter you remember being used by family members in years past. We also learn how cookie cutters show the history and culture of America from the late 1800s to today. Most of these cookie cutters that we see have come from the Cookie Cutters Collection Club of America, who really want you to learn more about cookie cutters. And if you do take a trip to the museum, you can get a complimentary cutter from a basket to take home with you. Let's now head into the Merle Evans and Circus Tent Miniature Circus. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Yes, we're stepping right up and seeing a gigantic miniature circus. Merle Evans, a famous band leader, played for circuses including the Ringling Brothers. Here we can take a look and hear the sounds from the big top and enjoy being a kid again.
The Dorothea B. Hoover Museum welcomes you to the greatest show on earth to view the Redding and Atchison miniature circuses. These animated miniature circuses, consisting of thousands of individual pieces, are the results of years upon years of tireless effort. The circus on the left is the Redding Circus, which was graciously given by the creator Leroy Redding. The elaborate circus located in the center and the colorful circus parade situated at the far corner are given by the daughters of Mr. and Mrs. Ned and Helen Atchison. This 1/2-inch scale replica depicts the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus as it existed in the early 1900s. This era is considered by most historians as the golden age of the circus. For the next 25 years, there would be hundreds of circuses touring the United States. The competition among all these circuses created the golden age of the circus in America because each show tried to outdo all the others. At the turn of the century, circuses were immensely popular. Schools, shops, and offices closed. Whole towns shut down on Circus Day to view the live performance. The day the circus came to town became as memorable as Christmas or the 4th of July. The circuses also enjoyed a time when other forms of entertainment were few in number. It would be some time before movies, radio, television, video recorders, and computers were viable forms of entertainment. The golden age of the circus started in the early 1870s. At that time, few American cities had the population base to support a full-time circus industry on a permanent basis. Therefore, American circuses grew almost immediately into road shows, appearing in any given community usually once a year. Enterprising individuals designed and built their circuses to travel. However, county roads were often a foot deep in mud, and circus wagons pulled by horses covered only 2 or 3 miles per hour. It was not until the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad network and the uniforming of the track gauge that the circus transportation burden was eased. The circuses adapted to the railroad.
As we wander along the hall, we'll see a fantastic doll collection. Here we can see delicate porcelain as well as other types of dolls. Many of these created by Maud Taylor Johnson and her husband, who handmade the clothes and furniture for their imaginary children. As we wander down this hallway, we'll get a glimpse of what homes as well as businesses look like in Joplin during days gone by.
Manufactured in 1870 by William S. Wooten, the Wooten desk, advertised as the king of desks, was the favorite of the era's rich industrialists and financiers. This included John D. Rockefeller, Jay Gould, and Joseph Pulitzer, as well as hundreds of other bankers, attorneys, and statesmen. Other notable Wooten desk owners include President Ulysses S. Grant and Queen Victoria. Each desk consists of 3 parts. The central portion has a drop-down writing board and 2 panel doors that swing out on brass hinges. When these sides were closed, the desk locked like a safe. The left door contains a glass window letterbox, along with cubby holes and shelves of various sizes. The right side features a series of pigeonholes with green cardboard drawers. The desk has 110 compartments in all. Originally, the desks ranged from prices of $90 to $750. That is roughly equivalent to $1,500 to $12,700 in today's currency.
A new AI medical stock is landing massive contracts. This will be the #1 performing AI stock.
The House of Lords, located on Joplin's main street, was established in the 1890s and named by a visiting Englishman who suggested it be named after Britain's Parliament. Beyond drinking and dining, the House of Lords also housed a gambling room on the 2nd floor and a brothel on the 3rd. In 1897, famous musician Scott Joplin played his signature ragtime jazz music at the establishment. On display at the museum is the roulette wheel, once on the 2nd floor of the House of Lords, as well as the bar's antique cash register.
The next exhibit showcases Bonnie and Clyde. Here we can find our inner gangster or lawman as we view items left behind by Bonnie and Clyde during their infamous stay in Joplin. Not surprisingly, it wasn't a peaceful visit. In this exhibit, we can learn about the history of the valiant lawmen who lost their lives. Mr. McGinnis, Mr. Harriman, and all the officers showed courage, sacrifice, and service to the city of Joplin when the gangsters invaded.
More commonly known as just Bonnie and Clyde, stayed at an apartment in South Joplin for roughly 2 weeks before engaging in a fatal shootout with local authorities on April 13th, 1933. Following the gang's escape, authorities searched the apartment on 34th and Oak Ridge, recovering weapons, jewelry, gems, papers, film rolls, and a poem written by Bonnie entitled The Story of Suicide Sal. On display at the Joplin Museum now, immortalizing the gang's infamous visit to the area, are necklaces assumably owned by Bonnie Parker and Blanche Barrow. These pieces of jewelry were left behind in the panic and gunfire at the apartment, where 2 Joplin police officers unfortunately lost their lives.
Dennis Weaver and Langston Hughes may be the most famous people who come from Joplin, but there are many others both in TV, movie, and the sports world who also have some interesting Joplin backgrounds. The next part of the museum we're going to explore is the Everett J. Ritchie Tri-State Mineral Collection. Who would have known or thought that Joplin had such Smithsonian-quality specimens in this smaller museum? Here we can feast our eyes on some of the world's most exceptional collections of minerals found in the area. We can find fossils such as mammoth, trilobites, and many others that have been found in this region of Missouri, creatures from another time that left some amazing remains that help us learn more about the area and the lands beneath our feet. As mentioned earlier in the video, Joplin has been a hotbed of mining since its founding, over 100 years of mining in this region. The world has changed enormously from 1870 to 1970, and much of that is due to mining. From manpower to horsepower to steam to electricity, we'll take a look at the mining industry during this exhibit, as well as see a miniature replica of the processing of lead and zinc. If you think minerals aren't important, think again. You eat minerals every day, and lots of them. You use minerals to wash your clothes, brush your teeth, wear makeup, use a cell phone, ride a bike, drive a car, almost anything. And I bet as you look at the exhibit, you'll be surprised by some of the minerals you eat and use routinely. I hope you've enjoyed this Wandering Walks of Wonder Museum tour here at the Joplin History and Mineral Museum. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, or even leave a comment on one aspect of the museum you thought the most interesting. And we'll see you on our next Wandering Walks of Wonder City Walk, Campus Walk, or Museum Tour. Take care now. Bye-bye.